All right. Welcome back to the Hustler Circle, 3 Minds, 1 Mission. This is episode 14, and we're really excited to have Ram here visiting us today as one of our guests. He's got one, if not the coolest shop in Coral Gables. Actually, it's the coolest shop because everything in Coral Gables is very vanilla. Ram's had a shop there for the last 4 years. We kind of met 2 years ago when we were doing exotic snacks, but you've known Alex and Dimitri for a long time. But it's really cool to see your shop now thriving even more so than it was before with the vintage stuff. So we are really excited for those who are watching this for the first time. Please hit the like and subscribe button. But also, we get to learn from entrepreneurs like yourself and how they started, get a little bit into the mindset of like what shifted over the last 12 months for you, but then also just dive into some really cool topics. So really excited to have you here and welcome to the podcast. And I'm going to hand it off to Alex and then we'll get this conversation going.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so happy to have you here, man. I think what we're most interested in hearing is like, how did you get started? Like, what was it that, you woke up one day and said, hey, this is the business I want to start, and what got you motivated?
Yeah, so I don't know how long ago I should go, but like the first store I ever had was a franchise. And like even before then, when I was in college, I was like white labeling. So I would help brands with like their trade show layout or their retail store design or their logos or like they want to release some merch. We'd help them figure out a collab, whatever they want to do. I was pretty good with that stuff. And then one of them actually took off, and then they had a chain of stores. It was like smoke shops,
Right.
Helped open that up, and it was kind of pitched to me with the idea of like, hey, you can, run all your creative ideas, anything you have, you can kind of bring it to the table. We're open to it. And most ideas I would bring were kind of shot down right away. So I had the opportunity to get out of that and then open up my own store. And I went to UM. I like Coral Gables a lot. I couldn't wait to like just be around like the area more so. And like, it feels like its own little hallmark town, if that makes sense. It's very unique in that way. It's different from most of the places in Miami. And like Chris said, I think we stuck out a little bit more over there. Like everything's pretty vanilla. It's a lot of the same thing again and again. And we're able to like be more of a bright light for the city, if that makes sense.
Right.
Do events all the time and stuff. So yeah, going from that to like being finally able to open up my own business where I was constantly getting shot down on my ideas, I was doing every idea I had right out the gate. So we opened up and advertised as like the first exotic snack store. Most people weren't doing that yet. Now you see a lot more of them pop up.
Yeah.
Like the way we sell vintage now, it's literally a simple idea of like, all right, I'm into vintage. People ask me a lot where to thrift. Like I make my own clothes already. So it's like, why not just throw a rack up, see how it goes? And like every idea we have, we streamline into it. We sell caviar now. We develop film over there. We sell literally disposable film cameras now. We sell jewelry now, sunglasses.
You have the beer pop-ups?
We have beer all the time. So yeah, we do local pop-ups every 2 months, and I always feature a different beer company. We feature a hot sauce company, usually a new caviar brand. We'll partner with, like we've been doing cevichote smash burgers lately. Shout out to our boy Renzo. They've been amazing. We also partner with different food companies as well. It's a way for us to showcase local brands and the platform we do have.
And that's actually pretty dope because you kind of melded the creative component and aspect of your background and just like energy, and you put it into a business, and now your business is getting more and more opportunities because of that creativity.
100%.
A lot of folks who watch our podcast are starting their business and they're like trying to figure it out. You went in and you went 100 miles an hour, try 18 different ideas, which for a lot of folks that may not end well because they don't have the creative mindset or have been shot down multiple times to have like those things ready and at the ready. So if you're someone who's watching this, like what idea do you have for them or perspective do you have? Like, do they have to create a business idea from the get-go, or do they start something that they're passionate about and see where it goes?
A quote I really do like is, the only reason I'm successful is I'm willing to fail more times than you are. Like, I'm just willing to constantly try. And like, it might not happen on your timetable, but like eventually if you're willing to put effort into something, it will succeed, right? And so that's usually easier when you're passionate about something. Yeah. So like if my business was like me selling soaps and like, candles and random stuff I'm not really into like that, it's a lot more difficult to like wake up at 8 a.m. every day, get excited for every new idea. And like, I have 5 or 6 meetings a day sometimes with like different collabs we're trying to do. And it might be my 6th meeting and I'm exhausted, but it's the first time this company's gonna hear from me and I have to be just as excited about the opportunity we're doing with them. And like, it could be a small pop-up that I know is not gonna be well for the business, but it'll be some brand awareness. And like, I can't let them feel that, right? So it's like, it's a lot easier that way when it's, again, products I'm into, stuff I'm excited to do. I can't wait to make new merch every time, or I can't wait to upcycle some pants for a specific event, or like, or like we do a eating house event on 420 every year, and we get to curate a menu with them. I make merch for the event every single time, and like I look forward to that so much. It's a restaurant I grew up going to. I like it a lot, and like being able to have opportunities like that for me is priceless. So I think, again, like that's easier when you're passionate about something and you're very, very into it. So
that's actually pretty dope. And then if we think about the bakery, right?
Yeah.
Like in the concept of it, obviously the name doesn't correlate with what anybody in Coral Gables will be walking by. Like, oh, I wonder what croissants they sell.
Yeah.
And then they come inside and they're wowed by like the creativity and the products that you offer. Tell me a little bit about like how the bakery came about in the sense of like it started with exotic snacks and then now you've kind of molded it into everything, which you had all those things in different sections of the store, correct? So give us a little bit of insight into like what, like how you've kind of pivoted into like where the space you're at now.
Yeah. So when we started, it was originally just a smoke shop and then exotic snacks, right? So like I knew the smoke shop business very well. It's something we could succeed in. It's organic. I'm very into it. And my thought was the same way we're giving you experience now, it's a little bit elevated. We do the smoke shop thing, right? You have rigs that look like donuts or like Cookie Monster stuff, like a little more creative than the typical things you see from a head shop. And just from what we were seeing, like I said, the stuff we were really into, like the hot sauces and the snacks and the unique candles look like Gucci bags. That's what really was selling and like making us a little more different from every other shop you see. Because there's a smoke shop every 6 feet now, right?
Yeah.
You can go to a gas station, get everything that you can get in the smoke shop anyway. So it's like the more we looked at those numbers, the more it was like, all right, this is what we need to expand on more. And when I met you guys, the exotic snack business, and dude, I was coming every 2 days. Like whatever snacks I can get my hand on was moving at a certain point, right? And even that eventually will slow down. And I think the most reason businesses fail is they're not willing to adapt, right? They focus on what used to work and they try to expand on that. And Toys R Us went out of business. It's a great example I always look at. We're like, can you imagine? But eventually Toys were going out of style and they didn't want to focus on what was coming to the world. So we were able to do that. And like the more I see the vintage was expanding for us, the more I focused on that, the more we launched more of our own clothes. And same thing with vintage. You can go to any vintage shop you want, right? You can find Harley stuff. You can find rap tees. You can find old Heat stuff, right? But the stuff we make where we upcycle it and it's all one of one, it's genuinely unique to the store. It gives you a reason to come out to Coral Gables and get it.
That's super dope.
Yeah, you've done a very good job of like pivoting with the trendy stuff. And I think now you've kind of caught your groove with like, we're known for the vintage clothes and you guys have like that hat that you have on. Like it's just, when I saw it, I thought it was so unique. I actually thought to myself, like, yo, is that authentic or did he make it? And so you've done a good job. What would you say to anybody listening at home? You know, like me and my brother and Chris too, we've started some businesses. We've lost a lot of money with some. We've made a lot of money with some. What would you say is the importance of having the right capital behind your business when you go to start a business? Because it's scary.
Yeah.
You know, starting a business is scary, especially if you're doing it with your own personal funds that you've saved up at your 9-to-5 job or, you know, money you've inherited or whatever it is. 100%. Money's money. So like, what would you say to the next person that is getting ready to start a business, whether it be a smoke shop or, you know, a big, you know, actually there's a pretty cool company called Healthy Soul Soap out there that the guy just makes soap. Okay. And it's so cool because he's filmed his journey. So what would be your advice to like the next person?
So that's actually really cool. The best thing you said there is money is money. So I listened to a really good podcast. It's the guy who used to run the Marlins. His name's David Sampson.
Oh, yeah.
He orchestrated a $2 billion sale for the worst franchise in sports, right? So I like his perspective on stuff. And he says it all the time. Funds are fungible, right? And it's what we said earlier. If you're putting money away for your brand, for example, like to make a t-shirt brand costs what, $400? You one design, a couple blanks, start a shirt, and you have a business right there, right? And a lot of times we'll spend $500 on dinner, no brainer, right? But you won't put that away for your brand and invest in yourself is crazy to me. Right. And just for me, the feeling I get of like when I'm out and a random person has on like one of the 1-800 pieces, or like we get athletes all the time, like we get NBA players who like wear stuff going into the game. People I haven't met, and it's like it's so crazy to me. It's one thing for my homie supporting it, and like I obviously expect and appreciate it from my friends, but like when a random person who has no obligation to support me goes out of his way to do that and they really like it, that feeling is so priceless, bro. Even like when you complimented the hat, like I'm gonna think about that tomorrow morning while I'm driving, right? It's just that makes my day, and like I'll never get that feeling from spending $1,000 on dinner or on a vacation or like anything else, right? So to be able to invest in myself and get that reward is way better than anything financial as well. So I think the best advice is like you just think about it in that perspective. Like I said, funds are fungible. If you think putting $50 away at a time, not doing anything for your business, after a while it will, right? And eventually you'll be able to do something with that. And like, it takes $500 to start a business, bro. It takes 200, right? Write an LLC up, and now you actually have a business. You can go apply for wholesale accounts. You can. Yeah. There's so much you can do without even buying inventory, right? And so if you have a little bit of capital to put behind and do it the right way, it's a lot easier. And another thing we said before is you're gonna make mistakes on the way, right? There's no way around it. And like, if in your head at least you're doing everything right and even messed up once, you're not getting that far. I promise you. Like you need to fail to understand what you can do better about it, and then kind of succeed with that.
Agreed.
And it's interesting because we have a lot of clients obviously who are starting a business and they just lit up their LLC, and then we get them access to $200K capital, like that, right? Yeah. And then the reservation behind like using your own savings or your family savings or borrowing from your mom or your brother kind of goes out the window. Now they're just honed in 100%. On making money, right? Now, like one of the things that are a lot of folks who watch this, they struggle with is like, how do they get people into the physical location? Like, what's your philosophy around like marketing and on social? Like, what's that it factor for you? Like, is it stories? Is it like figuring out like the brand and ensuring that people understand the brand? Like you mentioned that you have athletes that wear your merch and stuff and actual like stuff that you're making, but you've never physically seen them, right? So it means someone is like showing your stuff, or they're perusing social media and they see that's a dope shirt, I want to get it, and that's still branding in and of itself. So like, what are your thoughts around like how do you attract clients, or what medium works the best? I know it's not the same for everybody, but it's cool to hear from your perspective.
Yeah, so like our business is so unique for that reason. Where like it's the way I get to market, it's a lot different. I market it as if it was my own Instagram. Like I would just post cool things we like, random things that at first, and that's what started to work. And then from there, it kind of perspective of like what we have is really uniquely different. So now we have a content schedule. We have 2 camera guys that come through all the time, and we find a structure for what works for us. The best thing for us lately is those new pieces videos. I don't know if you guys ever see we do those.
Yeah.
Every Monday, just showing you random stuff we got in the store, talking about random topics, and like those kill it for us because it gives people reason to engage outside of me just pushing product in your face the whole time. Like people don't care. And I think what we do best, in my opinion, is we sell an experience, right? You can come in at any point. The store will have new stuff in there. It'll have new brands in there. It'll be snacks you haven't heard of, products you haven't heard of before. We're always dropping new stuff. We're always working on stuff. So like you could come and shop on Monday. You come in on Wednesday. It's a completely new store for you to look at. And like that gives you a reason to come and shop in person, right? As opposed to just going on your website, or like you can go on our website and see teas or whatever, but it's different when you can walk in, it smells nice. Someone's going to be there to talk to you. Get a free drink, you can try it on, you can really feel it, and like I feel like that experience goes a long way as opposed to just going on StockX, right, or going on eBay real quick and finding a piece I like. So,
and I think it's interesting, like the drops and just like showcasing the new things on Mondays also gives like this sense of like it's rare, it's coming out, and then like it won't last long because by Wednesday that stuff is gone.
Literally,
like you brought us some shirts which we'll show later, but like you sold almost all those in like 24 hours ago. Literally. So it's like. We're lucky to get a shirt.
I appreciate that so much.
And that's the type of stuff that I think folks have to understand. It's like you're not always selling. You're just providing an experience. And I feel like the experience is what gets folks in the door 100%. And gets recurring clients coming in. Which
every new employee we get gets a sheet, and it's basically like a brand guide for us. And it's like what you're selling is literally just an experience. That's it. Like when someone walks in, the feeling you get when you walk into your favorite store, you need to make every single person who walks in feel the same way, right? Again, I don't care if you're buying a single backwood or if you're buying 15 teas. Like I'm gonna be just as excited for you. Like, bro, it's my favorite flavor. I can't wait for you to try. Like, I'm gonna give you the exact experience you should get, right? So that's what we try to do. I try to come to buying a car. Like, this might be the 10th car you're selling, but this is the only car this person's gonna buy for the next 3 years. So like, they want to enjoy that experience. They want to feel special. And like, you have to go above and beyond and make them feel that way.
Yeah. Do you have like any tools that you've learned as a small business owner you wish you knew like year one to like help keep your business in check, whether it be like financially or just structure wise? Like
so many. Like I think structure is the most important thing in any business, right? So like I have it down to a T now. The second someone gets hired, they can never speak to me once and they'll know exactly how to do everything from open to close. When these pieces come in, this is how we distress them. When 501 Levi's come in, this is what you do. When 505s come in, this is what you do. Right. When someone comes in to sell stuff, this is what you're looking for. Like everything should be down to a T. So the point is, if someone's confused at work, it's my fault at the end of the day, right? Like they should, if a customer comes in and has a question and that person doesn't know how to answer it already, that's my fault, right? It can't be theirs because they're new here. And so I try to go above and beyond with that. I use my notes tab religiously. There's a Google Doc sheet for every employee to have, and like stuff I think they can work on, stuff that I think they can get better at. And like what I try to do the best is too is, which I wish I would have learned early on, is maximize your employees' strengths. That's it, right? If we do so much shit at the store, if someone's not good at sales, but they're good at like, let's just say organizing stuff and like setting up events, whatever, I'm going to push you to do that and not make you a better salesperson. I'm just going to maximize what you're good at and get someone else who's better at sales and maximize them. Right. And because before I was, I'm going to train this person to be better at this. And like in reality, you're wasting a lot of time, which we talked about earlier. You'll get all the money back. You'll never get time back. And so I want to make sure we're using that wisely. So structure is the biggest thing in the world. And what we said, just maximize your employee strength. Definitely 2 tips.
That's good. That's good.
That's actually interesting because here we each have our strengths. I'm like I've big company experience, chief customer officer. I've had sales organizations. I've sold all that stuff, but I'm really good at operations. And when I joined and partnered with Alex and Dimitri, like our focus was D is one of the best sellers, if not the best that I've ever met. And then Alex is as well. I'm like, both of them are sharks in the good kind, right? Like if there's an opportunity to help somebody, these guys will make you reason with the unreasonable, because in your mind, when folks, especially in the finance side, folks are clouded by the negativity, whether they're in debt or they've messed up their credit or they started a business but they put
think
themselves in a
everyone's out to
bad
get them,
position.
yeah.
And like everybody's out to get them, right? And then they kind of like they're really good at separating the emotion and just seeing it for what it is. There's a problem, but there's a solution. But a lot of people spend weeks going riddling in the upstream with
100%.
the salmon reference. You know,
North
going
Atlantic.
upstream in that scenario. But that's that's a component. So like having those right cogs in that wheel are the appropriate perspective. Like I'm a big watch guy, so if you ever seen Swiss watchmaking, like every piece inside the watch has a purpose. The bearing has a specific load that it only spins at a certain velocity, which gives enough wine for this. And I'm like, and I feel like that's exactly what a team is.
100%.
And I'm like, we were talking with, one of the folks you brought, here today, and he's part of a big team, right? And being in a team, you can be the best. It doesn't matter how good you are, how great you are, but if you're not a leader and you're not compassionate towards everybody else's faults, you fall
100%.
faster than everybody else.
100%.
And then not only do you fall, you trip 100 people with you.
Exactly. Everybody else
like
not with you
crazy.
because you're stubborn, which is the craziest part.
And I feel like that stubbornness is what prevents
People from
businesses
succeeding,
growing.
100%,
and
dude.
the employees from being successful. And I'm like, I don't see them as employees. I see them as an extension of my team.
Without them, it wouldn't be possible. So like, it's crazy. It takes such a village to run a small business. It's insane. Like from the content guy who shows up twice a week to the person making the payment, like so many little people have to do their part for this machine to keep running. It's insane.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. So let's shift into, we talked a little bit about like the stuff you've, learned over the years, but if we're looking at 2025 and I'm looking at it under a microscope, like what's your goal? Like, what are you scaling towards?
Yeah, I have so much stuff lined up. I'm so excited about it. The whole goal for this year is do as many collaborations as possible, right? So we have like at least 4 or 5 events every single month. A couple ones coming up. We're doing a 305 day with Bodega, the taco place.
Nice, yeah.
Bro,
Nice.
I've been going there my entire life. I used to go to the South Beach one with a fake ID and go to the back. And like to be able to collab with them on an event, make some merch is just like so surreal for me. Last year, I got to throw out the first pitch for the Marlins. It was one of the best moments of my entire life. And so we might be able to do a pop-up at the stadium this year. They have a bunch of retail spaces there that nobody ever uses. They're just a Subway over there. So
I got to hook you up with one of my friends. She just started working there.
Yeah.
Karen, she worked at Facebook for like 15 years. And she's like head of like partnerships and stuff. Yeah,
that'd
I'll
be
link you
incredible.
up.
Okay.
Yeah, she's super dope.
Yeah, the
Shout
girl
out
I'm
to
talking to is, yeah, shout out to Karen for real. Because
I'm trying to get her to come on the podcast.
Yeah,
so.
that'd be amazing. That'd be an amazing show. So yeah, we're gonna hopefully do something with them this year. We got, you ever heard Gelano's Deli or no?
No.
Shout out the boys. These are the best sandwiches in the world. I'm gonna show you guys their Instagram when you get off.
In Miami?
Yeah, like
Nice.
the best sandwiches in the world. I promise you. They're like OG Italian sandwiches, like stacked to the brim, focaccia, like everything's incredible. We're gonna do a collab with them soon too. And like, so I've been going there since before I knew who they were. This is just a popular place on Instagram, right? It's right by UM. They're in like an old apartment building. They're just like in the leasing office. They turned into a sandwich place.
Nice.
And bro, they're
Gotta check
pumped.
that
They just
out.
opened in Brickell too. Shout out the boys, bro. They're pumping. Like it's crazy. And so we're gonna do a collab with them really soon. Also, we're doing one with
Nice.
Eating House on 420. I'm back on UM campus on February 21st. Back again in March. Back again in April. So they've been showing us love too. So we're just trying to get the name out there. And I just want to do cool shit with my friends in the simplest way possible, right? Like,
and when you do stuff like UM, like is it with these collabs that you go in
Yeah, so
to
it's-
campus? So it gives the students and the community the opportunity to,
100%.
number one, visit the campus.
Yeah.
Number two, from the campus, understand like what areas are outside of that bubble.
exactly.
Which
and
is
like,
okay.
so many
That's a
people are
really,
just
really creative
in
idea.
that pocket of Coral Gables, right? They don't
Yeah.
ever leave. They
Yeah,
literally
you don't
leave
have. You
US
don't
one.
technically
Yeah.
have to.
There's so much to
like,
do there.
but
Yeah.
it's so cool to like have them go outside of that
100%.
comfort zone. Yeah.
And we get it all the time. Like people they'll come to a pop up and like one of the girls will like see something, like they'll see the store and they'll come the next day, bring 5 of their friends by. And like it's amazing to me because like, bro, you took time out of your day to like tell all your homies about it. 1, 2, drag them out here to come see this. Is like just so cool for me to see. So I love it, bro. It's amazing.
No, we're definitely gonna link, some of these
Yeah.
events on this post and
appreciate
everything
that.
because that'll be super dope for folks here in the
we can
South
have you
Florida.
guys set up at some of them too. No reason not to.
I know, of course.
That'd be awesome.
So, all right, so the collabs, like, what's the mindset behind like who do you select?
Literally, I want to do cool shit with my friends. So if a homie of mine is a cool brand, especially organic, like I love fine dining. That's my thing. I'm really big on restaurants. So the Chevron cheesecakes is actually a great plug for that.
Yeah.
So Chevron is Chevrolet is like one of the best cheese and sandwich shops in Coral Gables. They do these like really, really cool cheesecakes. We're going to release them at the store for this week only for Valentine's Day. And we're pairing them with caviar. So caviar at the store, ideally you
It's
get a
gonna be
cheesecake
nice.
with caviar on it. It's going to be insane. And like, just fun stuff like that. We're like, I don't care if like we make no money on this at all, right? It's just I want to try it. I want to be able to do it. I want to put them out, and like I just want to like have those memories forever because like I think that's the coolest part about having a business. And like we're fortunate enough where like we have a cool brand right now, right? It might not be cool forever, but for now, like people are reaching out to us about doing collabs. People wanted to like do stuff with us, so I want to take full advantage of that and go full force. The City of Coral Gables is doing one this Friday. Bro, like for them to reach out to us, because I used to be a smoke shop, so like they would they want no part of it. They're like, you'll get away from us with the stuff. And now they're reaching out to me to sponsor us for events. We're doing one on Gerald this week, and like it's insane for me to think about, bro. Like
that's dope.
Even being able to like we said, do something with the Marlins, maybe throwing out the first pitch. Like if you told me at 17 years old one day that would happen, I would never have a bad day for the rest of my life. Like I wouldn't be stressed out about anything, right? Like, what do I got to worry about? Like it's crazy. Even now, like we're like, bro, like half the UM team, where's our stuff? A couple of the players stuff. I'm like, if you just told me that at 21 when I'm stressed out trying to figure out what to do in school, like, bro, I would be the happiest kid in the world. So
no, but look, positivity breeds positivity.
Yeah, 100%.
So like I think ultimately you approach it, and that's not me giving you hyping you up because you're here. I'm like every time we hang out, it's like you're 100% positive, but you're focused.
Appreciate that.
And I feel like those two things sometimes they stray away. Right. And I I'm excited to see, what 2025 has in store for you. So let's, all right. So we talked about collabs. We talked about like some of the things, but is there anything outside of that you're thinking about like scaling the business to? Like collabs are cool. Sometimes they may be just in one certain momentum, but is it like, are you thinking about opening up another store?
100%.
So I'm here trying to get some nuggets for folks watching.
You're good. So we 100% are. We put an offer in for a store in Little River recently. I tried in Delray a year ago. It's just, bro, it was tougher before because we're a new business still. And like when a landlord sees, yo, I'm telling you, people buy these snacks. Like it's a good idea. Like they're like, all right, you've been in business for 3 years, it's a little bit tougher. So now I think this will be our fourth year now. It'll be a little bit easier. We have more numbers to show. And this is the second location we've opened in Gables already, so we have a little bit more footing there.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be a little easier going forward. But now it's just finding hot markets in Miami, right? Like I was in Wynwood last night, bro. It's kind of dying. And it's insane
crazy,
to think about it. It looks like Brickell now. It's like super commercials, high-rise everywhere. So it's like, I think Little River's next up. Great place to be. We might be a little late on that already because I think a lot more development's happening quicker than I thought. So trying to see what's next up there.
Maybe come up to me. I'm in Fort Lauderdale. So
yeah, that's not a bad idea at all.
But that's dope. Well, look, now that you're in the fourth year, your business is scaling, continues to scale high. I mean, you got to start chatting with D and stuff, see for SBA loans and stuff.
100%. Yeah, it's
we're in this. We're in this for the long run.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me a little bit more about, what from a small business owner to a potential new small business owner. We talked about like what's one thing that you wish you would have known today, back then. The other is like, if you have an idea, did you shop that idea around to your family, friends, like, or is it just you like, fuck, I'm just gonna do it?
I love that you asked that so much. My entire life, bro, I'm not believe I'm good at stuff. Does that make sense? I can hit 15 threes in a row. Somebody, you're a shooter. I'm like, not really. Like, I probably got lucky with it. Yeah. I would literally have to get validation from everybody for my ideas. Like, yo, this is the logo I'm thinking of. Do you guys like? Yo, I'm thinking now. Bro, I feel like the more of the clothing brand, the more I've, like I said, like people who have no reason to come fuck with my brand and like they can have access to anything they want, they're choosing to come buy this. It gave me the validation of like, no, my ideas are solid. Like I don't need to hear from anybody else. Like whatever I think's cool, I'm gonna put out because the vision I have, the perspective I have, no one else is gonna have that. And like that's the unique thing to be your own brand. Right? That's the cool part we bring, the cool perspective we bring. And I saw Jerry Lorenzo talk about this too, the owner of Fear of God, where he's like, yo, your conviction got you this far. So like what you believe got you to this point. If you stay away from that, you're just cheating yourself, right?
Well, it's time too, because even let's say the time it takes for you to ask persons X, Y, and Z about topics A, B, and C, you have to explain to them, you have to hear their thought process, and then ultimately it's either going to sway you to go left or to go right, but you can't even control at the end of the day what the result is going to be anyways. So you killed a bunch of time to probably be wrong anyways. Yeah. So it goes back to what you said. Would I have thought 17 years ago I would be, when I was 17 years old, would I be doing X, Y, and Z? That's the whole purpose of the journey, is to not have these concrete things that need to happen because we're trying to force it. Because I'm sure as we can all agree, the more we try to force things, probably the further away we get from it. So 100%. It's honestly, I'm kind of on the same page. Like when I'm thinking about doing it, I just do it.
That's it. Yeah.
Like I may inquire every now and then, but then the other subtopic is like, if I stop to think about like, damn, am I good? Should I ask someone? Should I seek clarity? Like I'm also losing that autonomy of like what makes me.
Exactly.
So like, and I can't bring them in on every fucking battle. Like I can't do it. And I'm not going to do it because they have a lot of other shit to worry about.
Exactly.
So that type of autonomy and just either doing it or not doing it, as an entrepreneur and as a fellow business owner, you know it's crucial.
100%. And how many homies do you have who have the best ideas in the world? They just get scared and never do it, right? And it's like, I'd rather do 15
lot.
ideas
Yeah.
and fail every single
Yeah.
time than like,
Yeah.
No, and they know
Yeah.
what the thing is. As we get older, you know, and that's why I have respect for older men that give me feedback. We lose more time because we have more responsibilities, and like, you know, it's very tough right now to even make ends meet, even with the economy and such.
course.
So it's like you have this responsibility of a business as well as maintaining your own personal life. So, you know, at least for me, as I've gotten older, I've been really trying to maintain my time for certain things that are going to give me a good return on that investment. But like, I don't have time to be hearing my boys about whether or not they should invest $200 into this or that.
I
Like,
get you.
I'm not on that right now.
100%.
Like, I'm really just not on that. And like, it's decreased my circle, but I'm okay with that because I already know who and what my safety nets are. I know that if I'm falling, I can call this person for this. If I need a fucking vent, I can call this person for this. If I need someone to pull up, I call this person. So it's like, I'm good in those capacities from where I'm at right now. And it's just like the self-doubt. I've had moments where I'm like, yo, are you sure? And then like, he'll just like kind of grab me and be like, yo, D, like, just, you're good. Do what you need to do. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Fuck, you're right.
No, what you said is perfect too. Cause like the older I've gotten, I'm the same way where like, I used to want to be there for every homie you got, right? You have any idea, call me. Like you need help with anything, I'm there. And like, I've been to so many friends who've had failed clothing brands. I showed up to every event you had. I bought every set you put out. Like I support everywhere I can. And like when you have your own business, it's every time you see somebody, yo, you're killing it, bro. Looks amazing. I'm like, yeah, it's been 3 years. You could have showed up one time. You know, bought a tee and like, yeah, exactly. It's like I'm glad to hear that you think doing well, but you could also, you know, go there and support in your own way. And like, so
brother, when you were thinking about doing the vintage, when you're like, oh, I'm doing this, and you had the back room, what did Alex and I do? We pulled up.
The first day,
the Lakers shirt, the 2 gym bags, the Buzz Lightyear's toy, like. And the reason why I remember all those things individually is because, bro, they were curated by you in some type of caring capacity. So like that shit made me happy. And then now I have a fucking kid now. I'm taking pictures with Buzz Lightyear, and I have on camera my little Buzz Lightyear toy. So it's like it's all interconnected. 100%. It's all in the same thing. So it's a matter of the energy that you're putting out there. And you were thinking about doing it at the time.
Literally,
right?
So it might
while
work,
all of us were thinking about the exotic snacks being the lick. We both not necessarily took L's, but it just didn't pan out.
Yeah.
And then now that idea that you had is the front runner of what your profitability is.
Yeah.
So it's just like all that stemmed from what? An idea.
Just a thought, yeah.
You know, and if you probably would have asked a bunch of people, hey, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
Do it this way, do it
and you would have
that
not
way.
have done it.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you wouldn't have pivoted.
100%.
Maybe you would have lost the space. So it's like all of these things, either good or not good or just idle, can be dependent on either answering the question or the self-doubt or not doing it at all.
100%.
So,
and if we said, do it every time. Right? That's all. The best advice for anybody is, just do your idea and fail again and again and again. Eventually, you'll succeed. I promise. Yeah,
run it back.
And the fun part is doing it. Right. That's why I said pick a business you like, something you're passionate about. Like I'm so excited to sit on my laptop at 2 a.m. make designs out for tees. Right. Or like I'm genuinely just making stuff I like shit I want to wear, stuff that I think is cool. And like I get a pair of pants, I see them, I can't wait to like, yo, put flares on these or whatever. And like I'm genuinely, I don't care if a single person buys them. My friends think this is trash. None of that matters. Like I just want to make stuff. And like to me, that's the funnest part.
Awesome. And you touched on something that, you know, I haven't had as much experience starting a business as you guys, you three, because I come from traditional background, right? And when I started the businesses with D and Alex, I really realized like how many people actually support you. Yeah. Like there's nothing like when I was, bro, I worked at Snapchat pre-IPO. I worked at Shutterstock pre-IPO. I was chief customer officer for all those companies, including Mountain, which we bought Ryan Reynolds' creative agency. Like I'm telling you, like I made a lot of money in tech, right? And everybody, I would post, yeah, it's great. I started my own business where it's like literally if I don't sell my services, I don't my daughter, my 6-year-old daughter doesn't eat. Legitimately, no one shares and likes. And I'm here like, and I'm not gonna be petty and be like, oh, what's up? You know, like, but it's like, damn, bro, like what's going on with these people? And you were saying like, you know, my shop's been open for 3 years. You've never been around. Thanks for the support, bro. Like, and I'm like, I don't let it be the resentment, but I'm also like, it makes me realize I'm like, yo, these people are just living this, like they're window shopping.
100%.
Right. And then you're in the window just be like, like
no, they're fair weather friends.
Yeah.
They're there when the weather is fair, and when shit's not convenient, they're convenient Carls.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is. And bro, I call people out like, yo, when have you ever supported any of my businesses? Like, let's just say it for what it is. Like, because we don't have time for that shit. Like, either you support me or you don't support me. Yeah. Either you're on our side or you're the ops.
Yeah.
That's it. That's where we're at.
But it's not like you're asking for a lot. Like it's like, yo, send people my way, repost here and there. And like, bro, you don't have to spend money to show
All
up.
I'm
But
asking
like, yeah,
is
just show up.
if you need help in any of my sectors of my businesses,
just keep me in mind.
Just keep me in mind.
Yeah.
But don't know what I do and then come to me a few years later because someone else shit the bed.
Yeah.
Like because
Exactly.
I'm gonna probably be like, no, I'll let you know.
Look, perfect example. We have a client, right, that came through me through an introduction through one of my daughter's school's parents.
Okay.
This person happens to be best friends with one of my closest friends' wife. They got recommended through a random person that goes to my daughter's school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, in my head, I'm like,
Yeah.
isn't that wild, bro? They see this
Yeah.
person every week.
Like,
and they know
not
what we
once
do.
did it come up,
And
yeah.
it's come up in conversation multiple times. Like, not once was like,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? You should, I'm going to link you up with Chris.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, and I'm like, wow, this is just what you have to get used
yeah.
to.
And you just gotta
use
focus
it
on
as
people.
energy to figure out like how to continue to educate. We have
There's so
somebody
many
come on-
battles within it. It's the lack of support from our immediate network, then
Yeah.
the following, then the raving fan base, because like we got here because of the vape shop. Like we used to have
Yeah.
people, remember the vape
I
shop?
remember, yeah.
We used to have people pull up every single day, like, and just drop bread.
Yeah. You gotta tell people what that was. It was literally a vape shop and they had a desk and a chair. And they're basically a credit company out of the front of a vape shop. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And it worked, but we're here now.
Yeah, we had all types of drama too, but
Hilarious.
that
It's
place
hilarious.
was fire.
No, but it's what we said earlier. Like, you got to focus on people who do support you. Like, Terrell's a great example, bro. He's a really good friend of mine. Like, every chance he gets, bro, every friend of his who comes into town goes out of his way to bring him into the store, just like show him the space. And like, that's all you can ever ask. Bro, I throw an event every 2 months. Like, my closest friends, I'm making excuse every single time. And I'm like, yo, it's cool the first 2 times. Like, after a while, like, you of all people know the effort I'm putting in to do all this and like how important these things are to me. So like, if you don't want to support, that's cool. But like, don't get upset when I take a step back or like,
No,
next time you need a carbone resi if I don't answer. Like, yeah,
and
don't get upset at me.
if you open up a business and I pull up, charge me full price. Like, I hope everybody can hear that. Like, don't show up to your people's events or their businesses and ask for discounts. That's not supporting because you're cutting into what?
Their
profit
profit.
margins. So if you're gonna pull up to show support at 100% and stroke the check. So I think that's always important too because it's like, damn, yeah, you're pulling them and you're asking for a discount.
I
damn.
genuinely don't mind that as much because it's like, yo,
Nah, I'm good.
again, like, it's both ways. Like, you're going out of your way to come show love. I'm gonna do my part to show back. Like, I want you to feel special here. I want you to not feel like a regular customer. So I mix that too. But like, what you said is exactly it. You don't go anywhere else in your life. You go to Starbucks every single day. You never once thought to ask for a discount. In your
You
life,
go to
right?
Walgreens, you asking for a discount?
Yeah, type like.
Yeah.
Or
It's-
any
it's
random
always-
brand
who the fuck
you're
do you know at
supporting.
Walgreens?
Yeah, exactly. Type.
Who the fuck you know at Walgreens? Nobody, right? So you're
Right.
not asking for no fucking discounts. So don't
Yeah.
act like you know me now.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden you're
exactly.
asking for fucking discounts. Like I'm good on that because
Yeah.
I'm not taxing as it is anyways.
I'm already showing love. So yeah,
And
I know
it's
what
just
you're saying.
like, fuck.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good topic I brought up. So I feel like I got everybody.
we did it.
No, but it's look, I think just, one thing that folks can take out of this is if you got a friend who's got a business or you're thinking about starting your small business, like you got to support
your
gotta
fucking friends,
people,
bro.
Like,
Yeah.
it's one of the main reasons. And I read this in a Times article the other day that small businesses fails because their own network doesn't help propagate those businesses.
If you don't support your friends, why would anybody else? Like, why would you expect other people to go show up and support? Right?
It's
So
a lot
crazy.
harder to get buy-in from external forces versus hear it word of mouth through someone that is an acquaintance.
100%.
So like that friend of yours that tells another friend will tell another friend and it'll just come back to you in some way. Like I'm not asking people to sell for me. I'm just telling them like, hey, if you know anybody or repost this or like and share it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. You do that once a while. That's perfect. That's all I need.
100%.
Like I'm not paying you like $50 a day to repost all my stuff and
Perfect.
manage my socials. Like, get out of here, bro. Like,
No, especially with the credit stuff too, because it's such a sensitive thing that like once I know a client gets like a 750 plus score and they're hitting me all this, thank you so much. I'm good on that. Post me.
yeah.
I'm good on that. Post me. Show me it's real.
Yeah, tell somebody.
Make
yeah.
it public. Show me it's real.
Make
And
it
then, and then now I'm not paying for an acquisition cost. I'm not paying for an ad spend
Yeah.
to have some random person in whatever place in the US ask me about credit when it's like I feel like just telling yo man, Google me. I got 1,000 reviews. Peace.
Right, yeah.
You get me? So it's like that's why I love referrals because referrals is like someone you trusts me and landed you on my
100%.
doorstep. It's like I don't have to work for it. So that's the power of an immediate network and it really does have exponential growth.
I
Like
explained it to no, go ahead.
we started the funding business last year in officially March. March, April,
Mar-
whatever.
April.
We pulled in almost $1 million profitability in our first 8 months or whatever the case may be.
Amazing.
No ad spend. No ad spend. Because of the service that we have with our immediate network and the rinse and repeating of the clients referring and selling their people, their family members, their coworkers, their employees. And that's just the way it works when everything stems from what? Good customer service.
Worse.
Going above and beyond. I'll hit clients sometimes. Hey, what's up? How you doing? I'll get through it. Oh, you don't have any questions about my credit? Nah, I was just hitting
Checking
you up.
in, yeah.
I was just hitting you up.
You know
So,
how you're doing, yeah.
Yep.
look, we went to Philly 4 weeks ago for the Philly Green Bay game. I got fiended out. I was like, yo, I want to go back again. Let's go back again. All of us. We have an affiliate. Shout out to Edward K. We love you. It was his birthday, coincidentally. So we went for the NFC Championship game, but he picked us up from the airport,
Amazing.
booked our hotel, invited us to his badass dinner. We bought him a ticket to go to the game.
Yeah.
I had never met the dude. He's been my affiliate for 4 years. For 4 years. And it's just like those type of relationships, they're cultivated on like the caring component,
Yeah.
just being there for the person, answering the phone, which is half the battle. You already know.
100%,
Showing
bro.
up to meetings, being honest with the clients,
Yeah.
with the affiliates clients, and handing them back so the client can buy the house with Edward or do the fix and flip or the renovations or whatever. And now this guy's not going to worry about ever again whether he has a credit related question, who to send him to.
Exactly.
He sends them to Alex or Dimitri or Chris. Boom, boom,
That's
boom.
it. I know that trust is priceless, right? It's built over time.
Yeah.
But like, dude, 90% of business is just like doing what you said you're gonna do. Like, don't sell false promises. Just, if you tell me it's gonna be here by Friday, make it sure it's here by Friday, right? Little shit like that will take you such a long way. And but think about every vendor you ever had, like you're more. It could be a better price, but like if someone's consistent, they're good to work with, and I just enjoy being around them. I'm gonna go with them every single time. It's no brainer. So
It's not always
Yeah,
about the
and
price.
we're always
Yeah.
looking at the most sensitive thing a client has, like which
their
is
credit score.
Or their social. Like I'm looking at their finances, how much they make, and it's like the first thing I let them know is like you are in good hands.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna get your shit back on track. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
100%.
Like and I'll say this, I'll be like stress about everything other than this credit stuff. Like if you don't see me stressed, don't like if I don't hit you with a. Okay, hold on this account right here, like, if I don't hit you with a pregnant pause, you're probably
Yeah.
gonna be good. So yeah, bro. It's, as long as it's like going to the doctor. You go to the doctor because you're wigging out, thinking
Yup.
something's wrong with you, and this guy's over here like laughing about something he just read on a chart or something, and you're like, "Yo, man, what's
What's
going
up,
on?
bro? Yeah.
I'm freaking out." He's like, "Yeah, you're good. I have to just prescribe you, and I'll see you in a week." And you're like, "Okay,
right.
perfect. I
Yeah,
feel better." And that's kind of
exactly.
like what we do for clients. We're like surgeons of their finances.
100%.
You know, so
You know, and it turns out to be a really good experience because the client, like you mentioned, that experience, whether they walk into your shop and it smells a certain way and they're greeted a certain way and everything that they are interested in, that person who's selling them is excited about that too. It's their favorite item. It's the same thing on the consulting side, right?
Yeah.
Like we actually, like for those 30 minutes or an hour that we're talking to that client, we're in their business, in their struggle.
100%.
Right? Like we're 100% invested now, like to the point where like if they don't succeed, we feel like we failed. Like it doesn't matter what they do with the funds afterwards. We also make sure that they're not going to go crazy and buy a Urus and do all this stuff, which I'm like, sometimes here in Miami, bro, you never
Like, bro,
know.
it's 6,000 pounds. It's
Yeah,
a write-off.
yeah, you never know. But I'm like, we're always like trying to be mindful of like, what are they going to do with the funds and are they going to be able to scale? And then, all right, we're good. We'll help you out.
Yep.
All right. So we normally shift towards the end into a rapid fire question
Love it
like
here.
round. So if you're down, I'm going to shoot you some questions
so
and then
ready.
we'll see what you like.
All right, let's see how quick I can answer them.
All right. So what's your go-to productivity hack right now?
Notes tab.
Notes tab?
Most
Nice.
important thing. Do you want quick answers or you want long answers?
Yeah, quick answers is fine. But maybe is it notes like in Google Notes?
No,
or?
like your iPhone notes tab. I make every single day have a to-do list for the next day. Like I literally every night, the last thing I'm doing is making my like checking off whatever I did on the list for today, making a list for tomorrow, and like, bro, we're doing a million things all the time. From 9 o'clock until like 2 o'clock, my phone is nonstop ringing. It's every vendor you could think of, for every brand we're doing something with. It's like this person needs this. So it's like if I don't have a way to just get back and look at structure what I need to do, and this is funny because I should have said this earlier. The best advice I can give anybody in business is if you're able to structure your time, we're like, hey, I'm gonna spend 2 hours on this, really lock in an hour on this, 2 hours on this.
No fucking
You can
around.
take over
Yep.
the world, bro. Like
Yeah.
that's all. I can't do that. I struggle with that, right? So I need a notes tab to do this. But like, if you can do that, bro, you'll be the most business person in the world. So that's insane. But yeah, iPhone notes tab.
We had a guest speaker here the other day, and he mentioned he used to do that, and then he upgraded to Motion AI,
Okay.
which like it'll look at you can do the same list instead of doing in notes, you do it there, and then it categorize as time blocks in your calendar based on what you have available.
When to do it.
And what and then it learns, you actually validate, all right, this took me 45 minutes. The next time you have something similar, it'll put
Do it all over
that
again.
same time frame and find the slot in your calendar.
is
Dude, it's
kinda
pretty
crazy.
dope.
Yeah,
like
okay, I need to check that out.
we're researching it.
Yeah, I need to check
because
that out.
we're heavy in the notes
Yeah.
component too.
That's the best thing in the world.
All right, so what's one business book or resource that's changed the game for you?
The Business of Hype podcast hosted by Jeff Staple. So I love I'm big into clothing, obviously, and like it's basically a background on creatives. So like Jerry Lorenzo's been on it. I don't know if you guys have heard of Colette in Paris. It's like the best, literally one of the best stores in the world. Drake used to fly to Paris, shut down the street to shop there. Like first floor was retail, second floor was a restaurant, third floor was an archive. And that's the only interview that lady's ever done in her life was his podcast. And I've listened to it like maybe 25 times. And like, bro, every Sunday they shut down, they change the entire store. Every display is different. New brands are in there. Like if your brand got in there, it was what was next up. And so like hopefully one day we can do something cool like that. Like that's definitely a goal of mine. But like I look at that place for reference every single time, bro. It's insane.
It's fire.
Yeah.
That's really dope.
Business of Hype podcast. Shout out Jeff Staple.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Your conviction got you this far. I feel like that's really important. Cause like I said, I didn't trust any of my ideas, but I could make the dopest piece ever. And until 50 people told me that, I wouldn't believe it. Right now, it's like I know before I even put something out how fire it is, and like that's because I've trusted my conviction this far. And I think that's why we've gotten as far as we have.
And your confidence.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. And if you could go back, what's one thing you do differently in your business? We kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but
it would
but
be
in a
more
short way.
structure. Actually, I want to change the last answer if I can.
Yeah.
Before I started my business, I would have dramatic panic attacks. Like I'm talking about, like I would check into the hospital often. I have a psychologist, psychiatrist for this stuff. And he would constantly explain to me, he's like, yo, it's brick by brick, a house isn't built overnight, right? Where like, he showed me this show where like in the UK, people are just basically, like homeless people are building houses and stuff. And like, bro, they don't care if like, dude's halfway there, it rains, house goes down, he's going right back tomorrow, start over again. And like, if you want stuff to happen on your timetable, it never will. And you'll always be like feeling like you're behind. If you just keep laying bricks, eventually look back and you have a house there. And like, I think I keep that advice in mind so much. And like, those words help me stop having panic attacks. So it's crazy.
If I had to tip my hat, and this is the last question, it's a fun one. Tip my hat to like what started the store and the booming part of the store. What was your favorite exotic snack?
Wagyu. We have Wagyu Lays with foie gras on them. It's the most insane flavor I've ever thought of in my life. But the actual dish is incredible. So you try the chip and you're like, why does this taste the same? Like it's crazy. So
What's the best pizza spot you think here in Miami?
it's Miami Slice, I think, by a mile. I used to like Old Greg's a lot, but right now there's a place in Gables called Emmy Square. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. They're popular in New York.
They're in
just
New
brought
York.
them
I
down
got them
here.
in New York.
Yeah, they brought them down here.
fire.
Detroit Square style pizzas, bro, incredible.
I
Definitely go
love.
check them
I'm
out.
like I'm of the fan base of Detroit style pizza.
Yo, it's incredible.
Because it's like if Chicago pizza had a baby with New York
Exactly.
pizza and the little pepperonis.
The chard too, it's like
Oh my
perfect,
God, that's
bro.
stupid. All right, well, look, I appreciate you coming on
course,
today.
man.
We're really excited for folks to finally be able to watch you on our podcast. We're gonna drop a bunch of links to the Instagram, the store, and potentially some of the events in the area. So look for that. And again, thank you for jumping on.
Of course, man.
And for those of you watching again this for the first time, please share, comment,
Like and subscribe.
and like Ron said, like and subscribe. Peace out, guys. To the next one.
Woo.